strap yourselves in because I've got a juicy one for you today. So today I thought it would be nice to have a little bit of a throwback, to reminisce on some of the scandals, cancellations, trials, tribulations, drama and kaflama of YouTube scandals. And my God, has there been a lot. So I'm gonna rank each of these scandals based on 3 things. Number 1, impact. How did it impact the community? How did it impact the creator? I thought that needed more explanation than it did. It didn't. You're not dumb. Number 2, longevity. Okay, maybe I'm the dumb one. And number 3, their subsequent apology, if they actually made one. So the 5 categories that I've come up with that the YouTube scandals are going to be ranked into are as follows. So the very first category right at the bottom is called Over It. This one's for scandals that have been pretty much forgotten by now. You know, they've moved on, they're staying in their lane, they're doing their own thing, they apologise, they haven't really done anything problematic since then, they're over it and we're over it. The next category up from that is called Meh. So this category is for slightly more serious scandals. I believe the technical term is
a severe lapse in my judgment.
It's slightly more serious than telling your best friend that their hairstyle looks good when in actual fact it makes them look like Chucky from the Rugrats, but not quite as serious as roundhouse kicking a puppy. The third category is disgusting! Now the penultimate category is called Toxic AF. Now this one is reserved especially for pretty bad people who have had some pretty bad repeated actions. A 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum could give a more genuine apology, and they probably have standards lower than my self-esteem. And the final category is called Delete Your Whole Channel. Kind of speaks for itself, really. Let's get ranking. Yeah, I'm never doing that again. Which is your favourite scandal? Sound off in the comments below. Kicking things off, we have Tanacon, the epically disastrous anti-VidCon revenge YouTube convention thing run by a YouTube apology video aficionado, Tana Mojo. What could have gone wrong? You know, this one kind of sucks because I feel like if it was planned properly and not by someone like Tana Mojo and wasn't born out of petty revenge against VidCon, this could have actually been a pretty good thing. Like, I think the intentions were good, but the outcome was just like worse than bad. Even the people that actually got into the event after waiting for several hours and didn't end up passing out due to heat stroke and severe sunburn, even they said that the event was just awful. It was badly planned. There was nothing like what was promised. It was just a mess. She did end up posting an apology video, and she did do one of Shane Dawson's documentary things to try and give some redemption to the situation, but honestly, I think that kind of just made it worse. People just wanted a refund. I just feel like this is another prime example of exploitation of fans and trying to get money from them. Like, they were well and truly fucked over. But hey, at least it was done with a Tanacon branded condom. If we're just talking about Tanacon and the event itself, I'm gonna put it in disgusting. Sorry, Tana. Now this next one might be a little bit sensitive and a bit triggering to some people. It's Jenna Marbles quitting YouTube. Fine. I haven't watched a Jenna Marbles video since she left because I just can't bring myself to do it. Did Jenna do something problematic? Yes. Is this just another case of cancel culture gone wild? No. I just think that she was genuinely so ashamed about what she'd done in past videos, coupled with the fact that she was probably exhausted with YouTube and social media. Like, I think you could kind of tell that a little bit, that she probably just took this as the perfect time to say, you know what, I'm done for a bit. I do feel like she approached the situation well, and she was very mature about it, which, like, let's be honest, not a lot of creators are. There was no bullshit. She wasn't trying to gain sympathy for anyone. She didn't just try and brush it under the rug and then carry on uploading like normal. So I'm gonna go with Over It. What she put out like 5 years ago or however long ago it was, that she is not the same person that she is now, and I respect that. Next up, it's Queen of the Apology video, Laura Lee. Not because her apology was any good, just that the video was just proper entertaining. Basically, she was called out for a bunch of racist tweets that she made, and also she was massively involved in the first Dramageddon scandal, which Jeffree Star was involved, and anytime Jeffree Star is involved in anything, it's not gonna end well. I'm gonna say meh, and here's my reasoning. I feel like the apology video itself is just embedded in YouTube history until the end of time, but the scandal itself wasn't particularly memorable. I believe she's still uploading, but she's kind of dropped off the radar a little bit. She's just doing her own thing, and that's cool. I respect that. Oh boy, it's the big one. It's Dramageddon 2. It's the drama to end all dramas. It's the Burj Khalifa of the YouTube scandal world, you know? Now, if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about when I say Dramageddon 2, honestly, I'm happy for you, because this was a mess. And to be honest, it still is. It's still relevant today. Like, that's the kind of impact this scandal had on the community. I mean, this has to go in Toxic AF. It just has to, because this was brutal for all parties involved. Like, nobody came out of this alive. I hope to God, for the sake of my Twitter timeline, this doesn't happen again, because I don't think I can deal with seeing this much drama. Make me sweaty just thinking about it. Moving on to Shane Dawson, one of YouTube's most renowned creators. Turns out he's had a pretty shady past. There's been insensitive jokes towards minors, the cat shagging incident, blackface, just general clownery. He's another one of these big profile creators that's just fucked up like countless times, continuously, and has made some really shitty apology videos as well. Like, I remember when Jenna Marbles came out with her apology video and Shane was like, oh yeah, I'm inspired by Jenna's apology video. Like, bro, this isn't a tag.
I tag you to do the apology video challenge next.
Tee hee hee, like, oh. I mean, I have no choice but to say delete your channel. Because, I mean, essentially, he kind of has. And to be honest, I can't say I've missed him. Sorry, not sorry, Shane. Goodbye. Next up is Jeffree Star. Being Jeffree Star. That's it. That's the scandal. It's whole life, really. Racism, essay, assault, paying victims hush money so they don't speak out against him. He truly is the evil Disney villain of YouTube. I'm not surprised if he started growing devil horns out of his wig. His apology videos, to put it bluntly, are a steaming pile of horse shit, backed up by the fact that there's just so many. When a creator goes through so many scandals and produces so many half-assed apologies, you start to wonder whether they're the problem, you know? I mean, I've got to go with delete your channel, because you've got enough money to live comfortably for the rest of your life, you know? If not, sell one of your Rolls Royces or something. I'm sure you'll cope. The world has moved past the need for Jeffree Star. Up next, we have Bryce Hall and his pandemic party. I was tempted to say Bryce Hall's entire career, because I have only ever heard bad things about him. Throwing a party during a pandemic just shows how little brain cells you have. Like, what a dumb thing to do. But then the LA police did shut the party down, turn off his power, and probably fined him a hefty amount of dollars. So, joke's on you, sunshine. He also once said that Ariana Grande was using him for clout. In regards to the Germfest party, I'm gonna put it in disgusting.
Disgusting!
Next on the list is YouTube's resident drama queen, Trisha Paytas, and her insanely insensitive videos. I'm talking about the time she came out as transgender, and the time when she said she had dissociative identity disorder. I think that's what it's called. And a lot of people found these videos incredibly insensitive and sort of mocking these communities and turning it into a bit of a trend. And now her whole thing is like, yeah, but I'm just a troll. Like, I was just an internet troll. I was just trolling. Haha. I feel like she does play on that a little bit. Like, I feel like she does use that as an excuse. You can't make these kind of videos and not have one brain cell just start dinging like, this might be problematic. She's making these videos because she knows that they're controversial and she's gonna get views and also money from them. On the other hand, I do know that she does have mental health issues, and that's not an excuse, but I do think she's trying to figure herself out, and she's making these videos to kind of help, but obviously it's not helping. Like, I do genuinely feel like she is starting to redeem herself a little bit. Still a way to go, but she's on the right track. I'm gonna put Trisha Paytas' videos in the meh category, but with the potential to move up to disgusting if she does anything problematic in the future, which again, is Trisha Paytas. It's high chance. Zoella's the name and exploiting children is the game. So a few years ago, the OG British lifestyle YouTuber Zoella sold an advent calendar for, I think it was like £50 or something, and the gifts ended up being things like paper clips and keychains. Ah, daylight robbery at its finest. So at the time of this scandal, especially in the UK, it was a pretty big story. You know, it was covered in the news, a lot of people were talking about it, a lot of people were mad, a lot of people making videos about it. Like, it was a pretty big thing. I think I'm gonna go with over it, because yeah, it was scammy, it was a bit of a money-making scheme, but like, did people actually think that they were gonna get good stuff from a YouTuber? I mean, I wouldn't have bought it. Next up is Logan Paul filming a dead body in the woods. Oh yeah, this was a big one, and I'm not talking about Logan's ego. I remember absolutely everyone talking about this. It was all anyone was talking about on Twitter. You know something's big when the BBC pick it up, because they don't give a shit about YouTubers unless they're doing something bad. He did post an apology video, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it was like or how people took to it. But since then, I do think things have taken a turn for the better for Logan and his content. He started his own podcast and he's been doing his little fighty fights. You know, I'm tempted to say disgusting, but I'm gonna go with meh. Because like, it was a really shitty thing to do, but I think afterwards he genuinely did understand why it was wrong. At least I hope so, my God. And as far as I'm aware, he hasn't done anything shitty since. So yeah, I'm going with meh. Now this next one's a little bit of an older one. I'm talking about Sam Pepper and his pranks, because groping women is always funny. So if you don't know, Sam Pepper was a creator on YouTube a while back, and he did some really sketchy pranks. He groped some women in public and he pretended to kidnap his friend, and he was kind of traumatized by it. So, you know, just the basic stuff. He looks like he'd fit in well with an averagely successful pop punk band. Not just with his looks, but with his gropey attitude. Ugh. He was essentially bullied off the platform, but you know, in instances like this, I feel like bullying is acceptable. He's trying to build his career back up again on TikTok, and a lot of people aren't happy about it. People still think he's a bit of a creep and he shouldn't have a platform because of what he's done in the past, and I do understand that. I do. I'm hoping that he's changed. I haven't heard of him being in any scandals recently, so I don't know. I don't know if he's changed. I don't know. Frankly, I kind of don't care. But for his past content, I am going to put that in disgusting, because groping women is not a prank or a lapse in judgment, my guy. I hope you've evaluated your life choices. Oh, another biggie, it's PewDiePie and the adpocalypse. Wow. This caused hundreds, if not thousands, of YouTube creators to lose money through ad revenue because companies were pulling out of YouTube, saying that they didn't want their adverts on YouTube videos anymore because of what PewDiePie did, and I'm not going to go into it. You could just Google it. PewDiePie is one of these people who I just find really polarizing. He's done some really awful things, not a lot, but like a few, but on the other side, he's actually quite a good guy and his content's quite good, and he does speak up about issues, you know, such as the James Charles situation and David Dobrik. He has spoken up about those kind of things, so I get confusing vibes from PewDiePie. I was gonna say disgusting because it was disgusting and it did have a big lasting impact on the platform, but since then he's kind of staying in his own lane. He's just doing his own thing. His content's quite good, so I'm just gonna put him in meh. Alfie Day is living off £1 for 24 hours. Just to clarify, he's not a Tory. Definitely shops at Waitrose though, and that's close enough. Squeaky clean UK YouTuber Alfie Days tried living off of £1 for 24 hours. It was kind of like a challenge thing. It did not quite receive the reception he'd hoped for, you know, because poverty is always a fun, quirky thing. And I can understand why people were upset about it. Like, I get that, you know, a lot of people are living in poverty, below the breadline, especially in the UK, and this super rich guy who drives a nice car and lives in a nice house and can use his clout to get free donuts, people are going to be mad about that. That's understandable. I just think this is another case of a YouTuber unintentionally being insensitive, and it was a little bit cringe. I don't think he genuinely meant any harm. And I mean, people talk more about the meme of him not being a Tory than the actual apology video that was a part of, so I guess the lasting impact isn't really there. And like, I genuinely think he's a good guy, you know. He hasn't been in any other scandals, I don't think, so I'm gonna go with over it, because I'm kind of over it. Like, it was a big deal at the time, but it's kind of faded away a bit now, so over it for Alfie Days. This one gives me so much secondhand embarrassment, I can't even begin to tell you. So when a stranger decided to unalive themselves on a train track, Saffron Barker decided that she wasn't gonna have any sympathy on that day. No, she was gonna be a savage and just complain about the fact that her train was delayed. Saffron, no. Again, this is just one of those instances where she wasn't thinking. Whether or not she thinks a lot anyway, I'm not entirely sure. I do remember the time when she said that she liked the metallic print on a graphic t-shirt. Turns out it was just the band Metallica. Oh, I just think she's a little bit spoiled and she just said it out of frustration and didn't realise the consequences of it. I'm gonna put it in meh. Next up, we've got I'm J Station, faking his girlfriend's death for clout. I hate this world sometimes. Gonna be honest, no idea who J Station was before this. Haven't heard of anything from him since, which is probably a good thing. So from what I can gather, this guy called I'm J Station made a video crying because his girlfriend died or something, and then it got found out that she wasn't actually dead, and then he cried in an apology video saying, oh, I'm sorry, I pretended my girlfriend died. Who does that? It really goes to show the lengths that some people will go to for some clout. And I think that's incredibly sad. I'm gonna put him in toxic AF. Moving on to David Dobrik, just generally being a bit of a twat, really. There's been racist jokes, disabled jokes, misogyny, SA, he's had it all. Brace yourselves, because this might be a little bit controversial. I think that David Dobrik isn't a terrible human being. Okay, he's a terrible human being for what he's done, but I don't think he is genuinely a really bad person. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna take that back, I'm not sure yet, just hang on. I think he just got so wrapped up in the success of his videos and this kind of frat boy mentality that he built around him for his content, that I just think he developed or didn't develop a concept of deciding when enough is enough. Does that make sense? And because he's rich and he gives away Teslas every now and again, people seem to like want to defend him more and be like, no, he's a good guy, he would never do anything bad. Like as if doing a good thing can cancel out the bad thing. Like that's not how it works. You know, Jimmy Savile built a hospital for children and then went and nonced on them all. That doesn't make it okay because he built the hospital. Bad people doing good things doesn't make them good people. I'm sorry, Davey boy, but it's toxic AF for you. Speaking of predators, James Charles is a predator. I mean, allegedly, I'm on minimum wage, I can't afford a lawsuit. So I actually did speak in a little bit more detail about the James Charles situation, so if you're interested in that, go check out last week's video, it'll be floating around here somewhere, so go and watch that, it's a fun time. You know, it's safe to say that James Charles has been involved in many a scandal, so much so that he actually made a video on his own channel ranking his own scandals. Yeah, that aged well. So several people came forward, and I believe the number is in double figures now, about James Charles messaging minors, inappropriate, sexually explicit messages on Snapchat. And this isn't the first time either. He also got called out, I think last year, for the same thing, and he was like, oh, I'll be more careful this time. Is this what you define as careful, James? Again, it's just another example, yet again, of creators with a lot of power and a lot of influence manipulating their fan base to get what they want. You're a criminal, you should be in prison, or at least on some kind of register. It absolutely enrages me that these people can do these things, apologize for it, get away with it for a bit, do the same thing again, and still have a platform. Anyway, James Charles, just do us all a favor and delete your channel. It's what we all deserve. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And let me know down in the comments, do you agree with where I put some of the scandals? Do you disagree? Are there any major scandals that I've missed off this list that I could put in another video? And make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell if you're not already. I post new videos every single week all about YouTube culture, internet drama, trends, TikToks, anything pretty much. I don't know, it's kind of a bit of a mishmash of stuff at the minute. I'm gonna go do some meditation because I think I need to chill and just calm down and rebalance my chakras after all of this drama. And again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!